Hi, I'm Jessica Sterling, and we're here in Jeff Levin's studio in Burbank, California, to speak with Steven David Horwich. Steven is an Emmy Award-winning writer-director with over 250 theatrical productions to his credit. He has authored or co-authored over 150 evenings of theater, including composing, arranging, and orchestrating the music. He's an accomplished and award-winning producer, musical director, and choreographer. As a teacher, he has over 20,000 hours working with the Los Angeles Unified School District, the University of Southern California, USC, in private schools running art departments for over 10 years, and in private workshops for over 35 years. Steven, why did you write Connect the Thoughts?
I wrote Connect the Thoughts for my children. I have two children. I have a daughter, Catherine, and a son, William. They had been in private schools for many years, schools that I had taught at, and I wasn't very happy with what they were learning. I thought it was very limited. One day, the first day of high school, the first day that my daughter went to high school, she came home with her first history assignment. It was about Egypt. It was about 100 words on a piece of paper with some drawings. And that was supposed to represent the entire history of Egypt. And I looked at it, and I'd been studying history my whole life, and I was appalled. So I pulled my kids from that school that day, and I sat down that night and, held my head and realized that there wasn't anywhere to turn or anybody to complain to. There wasn't anything I could do about this unless I took full responsibility. So the next morning, I started writing the first history course. That's what was the beginning of Connect the Thoughts.
All right. What is Connect the Thoughts, and how is it organized?
Connect the Thoughts is curriculum. Curriculum is essentially what you study. In this case, it's curriculum for two age groups. We have a lower school curriculum for ages 9 and 10, and we have upper school for ages 11 through adult. Now, we offer curriculum, we offer courses in different areas of study. We have an entire, for that entire age range from the 9-year-old through adults, we offer history, we offer science, we offer creative writing, we offer current events, we offer a lot of arts courses. We have a pretty educational basics. We have a lot of courses that we offer, and they're intended to be done best in sequence. You can use them individually. You can buy a course, take a course, and just use it to fill a specific area of study that you need. But the best way to be exposed to Connect the Thoughts is to replace your curriculum with this one, because this is comprehensive. The only thing we don't do is math, but we do everything else. Now, the way the courses work is this. In upper school, for ages 11 through adult, as a case in point, we have 9 history courses and 2 sociology courses that you do in sequence, these 11 courses. The first history course is called Prehistory. It deals with how the universe came to be, how the planet came to be, and it looks at that from scientific viewpoints, from religious viewpoints, from all different angles. And we never tell the student what to think or feel about any of these things. We just present the information. This is what this religion believes, this is what science believes, this is what this religion believes, and we leave it entirely up to the student to make up his own mind what he believes, because that's how the curriculum is designed. Now, every single course is designed in precisely the same way, no matter what level of curriculum or subject matter is being taught. Each course is broken into daily lesson plans that take roughly an hour to do per subject. And each lesson plan is broken into 4 steps, essentially 4 steps that are always in the same sequence. So when a student gets involved in the curriculum, by the 3rd, 4th, 5th lesson, he knows exactly where he is in his studies, exactly what's expected of him at each point of his studies that day, exactly what he needs to accomplish in order to really understand the subject matter. So in these 4 steps, the way they break down is, the first step in any lesson plan has to do with locations. The student is asked to find on a map or a globe or an atlas or on the internet, there are all kinds of ways to do it, the location of any cities, countries that are mentioned in the materials that he's about to study. This is done before he studies, so that when he studies, he knows where these places are, he knows where they are in relation to where he is now, so there's no mystery there. The second step, the student is given a series of words that each have a single definition. Those are the key or difficult words from the materials he's about to study. He hasn't read them yet. And what he's given is those single definitions that refer directly to the materials he's about to study. It is only the definition he needs to understand those materials, because the materials he's going to study are college level or beyond. Even for an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old in upper school, they're being given university-level textbooks, university-level documentaries, really that kind of material. Education has been very dumbed down in the United States and in a lot of other places too. And what we're trying to do is restore the standard. There was a time in the United States where students in junior high and high school learned Latin. There was a time in the United States where a student could tell you where anything in the world was because they had their geography down cold. These times are gone. They're gone, and the over 50% dropout rate in the public schools across the country attests to the fact that we're not delivering that kind of education anymore, and the students and the parents know it. They're very aware of the failure of our school districts to provide students any real substantive education that they can take out into life and use to make a difference. So when we do our lesson plans in our courses, we use these 4 steps, and I'll get to the 4th step in a minute, to really allow the student to completely master the materials. Now, he's located everything in the materials, and he's been given definitions of the words so that he can fully understand the materials the first time he reads them. And then he reads the materials. That's step 3. He's got a pretty good shot at that point of thoroughly understanding those materials, even though they're from a university textbook or an article written by me at the college level. The 4th step is the critical step. It's the payoff step for the student. It has to do with exercises the student does to take that information that he just studied, evaluate it from his perspective, and use it in life. That's really what education is supposed to accomplish. So what we're asking the student to do at the end of studying an area, a section of material, at the end of a lesson plan, is 4, 5, maybe 6 exercises that take that information that he just read through and use it. And it's very directed, it's very structured. You know, take this information and try this and see what happens. And the student does that, and from doing these exercises, he develops his own viewpoint. He takes over his own education. He becomes responsible for his own education. Now, what we've heard from parents in many, many, many success stories that we received from people doing the curriculum at home and in schools is that the best thing about the curriculum from their standpoint is that it makes the student's education his education. The student knows by the 3rd or 4th lesson, it's his. He's fully responsible for how quickly or how slowly he moves through it and how thorough he is. We don't throw the student into a classroom situation because he's doing courses that lead into the next course that lead into the next course. It's a river of information he can move through as easily and as rapidly as he can and wants to. So what happens is you get to the last lesson in History 1, and you finish it, and you've taken all the tests on that course, which only tell us what he didn't learn, so he can go back and restudy that material. We don't do grades. We're only interested in what he did or didn't learn, so he can go back and learn it so he knows all of it before he starts History 2. So he finishes the last lesson plan in History 1, does the test, closes it, pulls out History 2, opens it, and the first lesson plan in History 2 is structured in precisely the same way as the last lesson plan in History 1, because all the lesson plans are structured in the same way, so the student always knows what he's expected to do. He always knows where he is in his studies. The whole idea of this, the way this curriculum is constructed, and this isn't like any other curriculum, we know that it's not like other curriculum, is that the student has to come to grips with the idea that it's his life and it's his education. And once a student does that, we see miracles start to happen where students move through materials that their parents and the student himself wouldn't have dreamed he could do, and quickly and thoroughly and with full comprehension.